Hello everyone, I'm Brad Factor, founder and CEO of Ekto. After seeing our product demo in person, Kit encouraged me to do this entire video while using our product. So here I am, geared up in our Ekto Voyager boots with an off-the-shelf HTC Vive Pro headset, and I'm about to start exploring fully immersive virtual worlds. Welcome to Romeo and Juliet, developed for Ekto boots during the Building Virtual Worlds class by students at the Entertainment Technology Center. Question number 1. How did you come to do this work, and why is it so important to you personally? I started working towards EktoVR back in 2013. I was working in Honeywell Aerospace as a flight control systems engineer and decided to transition to part-time to pursue my own interests. This was the same time that Oculus launched their original dev kit and the rebirth of VR was starting. I thought, if VR headsets are successful, what's the next challenge? It boiled down to haptics, being able to touch and interact with the environment with your hands and arms, and locomotion, being able to move through the environment just as you do in real life. I actually spent a couple of years working on a haptic exoskeleton solution until I realized that I didn't have sufficient capital, expertise, or network to properly realize the concept. At this point, I pivoted to pursuing a locomotion solution because it was even greater value potential and the space is less crowded. I was accepted into MRD program at Carnegie Mellon University and proposed my own capstone project. While this was unusual at the time, they agreed to support me if I was able to recruit a team and an advisor. I did, and they did, and this served to align on and prove out technical feasibility. Also worked on the business feasibility via Project Olympus and NSF Core. As I was graduating, I was still on the fence. Do I join a startup or start my own? One of my interviews was at Anduril, Palmer Luckey's defense tech startup, and he was one of my interviews. Now Palmer, as the founder of Oculus, must have talked for about 5 minutes about Anduril and the bulk of the time about all sorts of things that he had tried while he was at Oculus and what I was working on. He was excited about my work, so I thought to myself, he's excited about it, I'm excited about it, shoot, I guess I'm doing it. In January of 2018, I went full-time to get EktoVR started, and we incorporated on May 31st. We'll be 5 years old soon. As to the personal connection, as a kid, I was a fanatic of ride film experiences. Mission Bermuda Triangle, which later became Wild Arctic at SeaWorld, Back to the Future, the ride at Universal Studios, and Star Tours at Disneyland. For about 5 minutes, you and a small group are fully immersed in these fictional worlds. Virtual reality does the same and more, in a more personalized experience, making you a main character, an active participant in these stories. And I'm very passionate about making these experiences as real as possible. Welcome to Half-Life Alyx, a commercially available game on the Steam store. It was made from the ground up for VR by Valve, the company that owns and operates the Steam store. Question number 2, what was your light bulb moment for EktoVR? My light bulb moment was the first time I used our boots in Half-Life Alyx, the experience that I'm in now. Up until that point, our boots had provided a more immersive experience, but still not fully immersive. But when you combine our product, nailing the integration, and the scale and fidelity of Half-Life Alyx, you really do feel like you're actually here. And I definitely had a moment of, wow, we actually did it. Question number 3, what is the elevator pitch for EktoVR? What do Anthony Daniels, Palmer Luckey, Peter Diamandis, and Andrew Yang have in common? They've all enjoyed our boots. EktoVR is fulfilling the sci-fi promise of virtual reality with revolutionary immersion-enhancing products, starting with our Ekto Voyager boots, which make you feel like you're really moving around in virtual worlds without tripping over furniture, getting sick, or navigating clunky controls. According to McKinsey & Company, the metaverse market will be valued at $5 trillion by 2030. However, market growth is limited by space restriction hazards, motion sickness, and unintuitive and unnatural movement. Our Ekto Voyager boots are safe, comfortable, naturally intuitive, and portable and storable. We're on track to offering our solution to these issues at $500 per unit by 2027. Our experienced team from CMU has over 50 years in robotics, 20 years in BizOps, and 15 years in premium automotive design. In 2022, we had over $130,000 in sales, including Ekto Ventures, boot charters, boot purchases, and marketing sales. We've built all of this on $600,000 and are looking for $4 million to get us to the next level. HTC Vive's recently announced tracker solves our biggest challenges, making now the time to leap forward. Welcome to Vector, developed for Ekto boots by students at the Entertainment Technology Center as part of a spring-sponsored project. Question number 4, Talk through your strategy in building a team around you. While our number one value is fundamental safety, another value is being strategically frugal. From a team perspective, it means keeping the core team tight and hiring paid interns. We've never done paid internships, and time-bound part-time employees as needed. We've also leveraged our network for team building. I met my co-founder through a classmate at CMU, and we met 2 of our 3 advisors through our largest investor, Reinforced Ventures. And lastly, our advisors have been very generous in going above and beyond by providing tactical and implementation support in addition to strategic guidance. Question number 5. What has surprised you most about starting your own business? What surprised me the most about starting my own business is the shape of the emotional roller coaster. We've climbed to incredible heights of triumph and plunged to infeasible depths of despair, and have gotten whiplash from how quickly one becomes the other and back again. I always expected entrepreneurship to be difficult, but I never anticipated how large the range of emotions could be, nor how quickly they could possibly evolve.
Scan the controller to turn the spaceship power on and see your mission.
Question number 6. Talk through one of your daily rituals. My most steady daily ritual is my morning family ritual. When I wake up, hug and kiss my fiance, who will hopefully be my wife by the time it's published if everything goes according to plan. Then I help wake our 8-year-old son up by aggressively tickling him and brushing his teeth, and then take our pup out on the front lawn. Startup life doesn't always allow for the most amount of family time in the morning, so it's really nice to be able to have some family time in the morning before fully getting into the hustle and bustle of the day. Question number 7. What is a recent challenge you faced as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome it? What lessons did you take away from it? By far, the biggest challenge that I faced as an entrepreneur was the initial effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a team, we're very passionate about creating a product that the mass market consumer can use and enjoy. But we know that it takes time to develop a product that you can sell directly to that market. So while we were at Alpha Lab Gear, the hardware startup accelerator, we focused on selling to location-based entertainment as a B2B2C play, delivering experiences to consumers while selling to businesses. Following demos at VR arcades, we had secured our first pilot LOIs, and we're getting ready to launch them when suddenly everything went into lockdown, and eventually those businesses had to close up for good. This has forced us to entirely reimagine who our early customers might be. So once we took our breath, found our footing, we took advantage of the opportunity to learn more about VR users outside of the adventure and gaming space. We joined the first remote CMU Venture Bridge cohort, and through a large customer discovery effort, found enormous needs in training, especially for high-risk, high-cost industries like energy, defense, and manufacturing. So where we found our first partners, pilots, and sales. Despite the high need, these industries have long sales cycles, so we're thrilled that location-based entertainment is taking off once again, and we're able to use our experience to refine the product for a wide variety of users, operators, and developers. The lessons that I took away were, 1, always be prepared to pivot in some way, small or large, and 2, figure out how to thrive when everyone else is trying to survive. Question number 8, what does the next year look like for EktoVR? Over the coming year, we'll be growing our team to 10 full-time with a balance between engineering and growth. On the product front, we'll add support for more headsets, including standalone like the Meta Quest, more users at one location, more game engines for developers, as well as prove out future speed and weight targets. On the growth front, we'll lean into initiatives like our influencer marketing and strategic partnerships to drive greater engagement and generate a 10x increase in sales and revenue. Question number 9. What is a key piece of advice you've received that you'd want to share with other founders? Well, this key piece of advice has 5 steps. Step number 1, take 3 experts' advice. Step number 2, blend an ice crush setting for 90 seconds. Step 3, filter it through the sieve crafted by your unique knowledge of customer, market, problem, product, and company. Step 4, test by poking the mix with 2 people completely uneducated in that area's advice as a gut check. Step 5, serve. Which brings us to number 10. How can our regional startup community help your efforts? First off, I encourage our regional startup community to continue growing efforts to attract investors, partners, and customers, especially for hardware pre-seed and seed stage startups. Secondly, please connect with us on social media, shown here. And finally, please join our consumer product waitlist via the QR code also shown here. Thank you for watching.